So you clicked on this video because you're interested in peptides, and apparently a lot of people are interested in peptides right now. And if you're looking for an investment opportunity, this probably is a good place to look. Not an investment advisor, but just going with my gut, there's a lot of action going on. One of the things happening is the FDA is rescheduling 14 peptides so that compounding pharmacies are allowed to compound and make these peptides available to people with a prescription. So you go to your doctor and your doctor writes you a prescription for BPC 157 or something like that. You go to the compounding pharmacy and they give it to you. Well, they sell it to you. This is great. I think this is absolutely wonderful. There's some other shenanigans going on where you're going to see headlines or people are posting headlines that, oh my God, their Customs and Border Patrol confiscated a shipment of GLPs, peptides, semaglutide, tirzepatide, and retatrutide are what a lot of the gray market sellers are making a lot of money off of. And the story is that, well, the FDA is cracking down on that in, it's kind of a concession to big pharma to get so that the compounding pharmacies can do their thing and big pharma will get to sell their weight loss drugs, which are hugely popular. I personally, I'm mixed on how big this is going to happen. One of the things, I've been messing around with peptides for a couple of years now, and it seems like it goes through a cycle. And what happens is there's some headline and it's everybody freaks out and they buy up all of the peptides that the sellers have, and things calm down and business as usual, and then they have another panic. I don't know if that's the case in this, what's happening now. Of course, the dog's going to start barking as I'm talking. If you are going to get the stuff, my suggestion is if you know that you're going to use retatrutide for, 4 or 5 weeks or 4 or 5 months, going ahead and buying it up front isn't necessarily a bad choice. You're going to spend the money either all at once or spread the money out across several months. Same with, BPC 157 and stuff like that. And then, so you have, so funny piece is I had some on hand already. I went ahead and ordered several more vials to make sure that I have all I need for a very long time. And the cool thing is, if you do not reconstitute it, you just leave it in the lyophilized powder form, you can throw this in the freezer and it'll be good for years. Some people say decades, but it'll be good. It won't go bad in the freezer. Even kept in your fridge, it's probably good for a couple of years. So you'd be okay. It's not like something that's going to go bad sitting on your shelves. This is one I used up a long time ago. But here's the thing, if you're getting into this stuff, one of the things I want people to pay attention to is, if you're going to get into peptides, you should be fairly serious about the administration of the medication that you're giving yourself. I saw this story this past weekend, April 3rd and 4th. This bro shot 10 milligrams, I think that's what I was told, 10 milligrams of CJC into his body. I shoot 0.2 milligrams of CJC into my body. So he shot 50 times my dose into his body. Yeah, he had an allergic reaction. Here's the thing. That has nothing to do with the dangers of peptides. That has to do with the dangers of people being, I'd like to be nice and say careless. That's stupid. Take it seriously. The peptide, most likely BPC. People try to make these stories that, oh my God, this dude injected BPC and he started growing fingers all over his body. Sorry. The worst that I've really seen is that people get BPC 157, inject it, and nothing happens. Most likely, they got it from a seller who sold them just saline water, essentially. I mean, that's my guess. For me, BPC has been an absolute wonder drug, and I've gotten it from 4 places. One of them is what I just described. I injected it, and I honestly can't tell that it did anything. The other 3 places, one was a compounding pharmacy. The other 2 are your research use only places. And both of them have always delivered quality products to me. Brian Humston, if you pay attention to his latest video where he's testing all the protein powders and stuff, you can actually see the retatrutide that he tested is from the same seller I buy from. So I liked seeing that. When you reconstitute your stuff, pay attention, figure out, go to peptide calculator, figure out how much bacteriostatic water to put into your lyophilized powder to get the medication the way you want it, so that you can pull the correct amount. If you want, for me, I do a 2-to-1 ratio. So I'll do 2 milliliters, just a little bit, into this. And this is 10 milligrams. So 2-to-1. I realize milligrams, milliliters, and one's 2 and 10, but it's metric, so it's okay. 2-to-1. That means on your standard insulin syringe that I have to pull 20 units to get 1 milligram of medication. Pretty easy. Pay attention. 10 milligrams of ipamorelin. To get my 0.2 milligrams to inject into myself, I pull 4 IUs. It's pretty easy math, but pay attention. Next thing is, if you're doing more than 1 shot, read the freaking label. It's right there. See, camera. See, it says retatrutide. So you know what you're putting into the syringe, and you know what you're putting into your body, and you're not shooting 10 milligrams of CJC into your body and going to the hospital and showing up on the internet like a dork. Take your time, go see a doctor, work with a doctor so that they know what doses you're doing. Regular blood tests. Your insurance may not cover all the blood tests you should do. I would say you should do 4 blood tests a year if you're doing this stuff. Other piece, peptides by themselves will not fix things. They'll make them better. But if you have a crappy diet, if you sleep like shit, and you don't work out, and you're not taking care of stuff, if you don't have a physical fitness routine, you're kind of wasting your time. Problem with retatrutide, keep using this. People get on weight loss drugs, they lose a bunch of weight, but they did not make any changes in their lifestyle. They're still sedentary. They still eat shitty food. They just now have loose, baggy skin that when they come off the medication, they're going to refill. And that's not how you do it. You need to take and change what you eat. That's the most important piece. The other important piece is your physical fitness. Your sleep also should be in there as well. And maybe it's also as important as the food. But you have to do all 3. And I'd say, there's no reason to be doing ipamorelin or any of the morelin peptides if you're not working out. You're wasting money and wasting time. That's it. And as far as that goes, personally, I'd say if you don't have a physical fitness routine, just go do CrossFit. 3-day work up, start 1 day a week, work up until you're just doing 3. That's all you need. You don't have to be stupid like me and there 5 days a week and do an open gym and go into a normie gym a couple of days a week as well. Just 3 days a week, just 3 hours out of your week. You scale the workouts to what you're capable of doing. So today we're doing pull-ups and sprints. People who can't do pull-ups either did banded pull-ups or ring rows or bent over rows with barbell, something to work the back. And we try to help people get to where they can actually do pull-ups. It takes work, but you can scale workouts in CrossFit. We do that all the time. Anyway, made it this far, appreciate it. If you like the content, hope you'll subscribe and come back. I'll have more adventures to share with you. Anyway, you have a good evening, and I'll see you around.